Hello, and welcome to my channel where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. We are going to do a seed time and harvest reading for the sign of Libra. So the purpose of this reading is to take a look at one of the mini seeds and one of the mini harvests that you may have coming in, because we are constantly planting seeds and we are constantly reaping harvest. We're also constantly pulling things up so that we can make room to plant new things. So this may or may not resonate with you because this is for a large collective. And also keep in mind that you have the power to engage in self-reflection and personal reflection to shift and change the way that you are showing up and the actions that you are taking to try to help yourself live in a way that's more reflective. And you can use this as a tool in order to do so. All right, so we're going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot and clarify that with a number of oracle decks. All right, so starting off, it looks like in the past you decided to take your chance and wait for something that was going to come in. You had this expectation of something coming in, so you had to leave something behind. And you may have invested in something, you may have made a decision to do something, and you are waiting for the effects of that. However, with the Knight of Wands in reverse under the deck, I feel as if whatever you were waiting on, it was a result of maybe a decision or action that you took that may not have been in your highest, best possible path that you could have taken. And so as a result of that, what may be coming in for you is this energy of the Emperor in reverse. And so this could be that, you could be in a managerial position, you could be a person that is in charge of a lot of people or things, or you could be someone with this Emperor. It could be a father energy, but you're going to end up feeling as if you have been kind of dethroned or kind of taken down some, or not in your power as a result of this decision that you made. And I feel as if on reflection, you'll see that this was a result of a personal choice to take an action that may not have been the best possible choice you could make. I feel like it came from a space where you chose to do something that just was not going to take you forward. All right. But you had an expectation that it was worth the chance of doing it because it could possibly have done that. However, it doesn't seem like it will go through that way. But let's clarify this with the Madam Fortune cards. Okay, yeah, we have the Moon. You will be guided through darkness, clarifying what you had going on in the past. So it says you'll be guided through darkness. So I feel as if there might have been something that you did secretly and you were kind of hoping that maybe it didn't come out, or that you weren't going to get caught up as a result of that. And sometimes what I'm picking up too here is that sometimes we can make a decision to do something, and when we do that, it puts us on a trajectory, and then you have to keep doing things to try to get out of this place. But it can drive you into a deeper and darker hole the more you do things. All right. And so it puts you into an energy where you are now kind of lost a little bit. You might feel lost because of a wrong turn that you made. I mean, this could even have been like maybe you were traveling or driving and you actually got lost. But I feel like this is also saying that there was a decision that you made personally, and like your conscience might have been telling you to do one thing and you didn't quite. And you were just kind of hoping that you could get out of this somehow. And you were probably trying to rely on your intuition to try to do that once you got to this place. But I feel like it was kind of blocked. Your intuition was blocked. And so you weren't able to connect fully and get the guidance that you needed to try to get back on track. And so, with this energy of feeling like you're kind of like not in your power, you are having to rely on friends that will act on your behalf. And I do feel like there are people who are stepping in to try to help you and assist you to get back on track. as a result of this. But what I am picking up also is that some of these friends, they might be kind of helping you by not being truthful or clear on what's happening. What they might be helping you do is to cover up whatever it is that you were doing. That's what I'm picking up here. But they're doing it from a space of being friends and trying to help you in this situation. Because I feel like you got stuck in something that just kind of got more and more convoluted. And so now these individuals feel the need to, try to help you out, even if that means not being fully in truth themselves. Okay. All right. So, in the past, I feel like you wanted to be, self-reliant. I feel like whatever it was that you were making a decision about, you wanted to kind of like be on your own and do something. All right. And it could be that maybe you were working with others, or it could be relationship based, but whatever it was, I feel like you might have wanted to get out of something. Like you wanted to get out of something and just do it on your own. Maybe it would have given you a leg up, but it seems as if maybe the way that you went about it, maybe you weren't forthcoming about it. And as a result of that, it got you caught up into, this spiral of needing to keep almost I feel as if what you're trying to do, and this is where I feel like you might be trying to project outwardly that you have things together, like you've got it together, you've got, you're not afraid to fly solo, you're trying to do this, but maybe secretly you don't feel comfortable in that. And you were making decisions from a place that was not in alignment or in tune with what your intuition was telling you. And so you might be feeling kind of like out there as a result of that, but you feel the need to kind of look as if you know what you're doing because you're surrounded by other people, I feel, who are in alignment with their intuition and they are following it, and they might think that you are too, but they may not know that you're not. And so now, moving forward, I feel like you're in an energy of maybe feeling like you're having to get your courage back up and your confidence, self-confidence, because this felt like a loss for you. I feel like this is a person that feels like they need to project an air of being on top of things, being confident, being courageous, especially with the Emperor energy. With this, what they're reaping is to be in the Emperor reverse. But before this, when you're in that energy, people look up to you and they expect you to know what you're doing. They expect you to have almost everything right. And there's not a lot of room for the expectation that there's an air of not being confident. Because when people pick that up, then they naturally start to not want to follow or not want to go with that. And with this energy of being kind of in the Emperor reverse, I feel like maybe it's visible. And even though you have friends that are trying to help you to cover this and seem as if it's not, you're also internally dealing with this energy of not feeling very confident and feeling like you're in a competition to maybe prove yourself to others. And what I'm picking up with this is that this could have been the energy that caused you to make this decision in the first place, to not listen to your intuition, but maybe go more off of ego and making choices based off of an expectation. Well, this is going to work. I just know this is going to work, and not really tune in and say, well, what is my soul telling me about this? Is this really in my path? Is this really something I should do? And when it didn't, there's this need to try to cover up and make it seem as if it's not what it is, which is a misstep, and sometimes when that happens, another way I see this is that we can recognize if we make a mistake and just recognize that, no, what do we need to do to backtrack to try to fix this? Or what do I need to go ahead and walk through? Because sometimes the only way out is through. What do I need to go through and learn my lesson about so that then I could come out and get back on track? I feel like that could be something that wants to play out as well. Okay. All right. So in the past, I feel like you were thinking that there were going to be a lot of blessings. There could have actually been a lot of blessings coming in. Or you were making this choice because you wanted to create situations where you had a lot of things coming in. Perhaps there were lots of individuals around you that were in this energy of having lots of things, or just being blessed. And this is not to say that you're not blessed because you're going through a hard time, but I feel like this was what was inspiring you to make a decision that was kind of not in alignment with yourself. And I feel like it was about keeping up with the Joneses almost. I feel like there was like a decision to try to keep up with the Joneses and get to a space that was going to look as if you were where all the Joneses were, but you were going to have to make some kind of choices or move in a way that was not in alignment or not honest or not truthful. And it was because you wanted to, I feel like you were also chasing like the pot at the end of the rainbow. And if you know the mythos with that, it's this idea that there's a pot of gold at the end of every rainbow. And if you get to the end of the rainbow, you can find it. But if you've ever tried to do that, you know that actually rainbows are actually full circles. We can't see them. So there's not really an end. It's just an optical illusion that makes it seem as if it would be an end. And that might have been what you recognized, is that the more you tried to chase this pot of gold and the more you tried to do stuff, the more you recognize that, oh, wow, this is just a never ending thing. Like I could just keep going and going. And so it's almost like illusion because you weren't connected with what your personal intuition was telling you. And I feel like the people that you were trying to emulate and trying to be like, they were in tune. And like their rainbow circled around them. So they were emanating and radiating that rainbow themselves. I don't feel like they were chasing the pot at the end of a rainbow. What they did was they listened to their intuition, and their intuition naturally took them to wherever it is that they needed to go individually to be in the energy that they needed to be in, to feel as if they were prosperous, lucky, abundant, rich, wealthy, content, all these things that we kind of associate with finding a pot of gold and what you would get from having that. What's the value of that? Why do we need a pot of gold? Like, what do you do with that gold when you get it? Is it just to hold it and that's what makes you lucky? Or is it because it translates to something? And I think that's how you ended up in a situation where you were making bad decision after bad decision that led you to kind of knocking you off of your own personal power, because it's basically you not being in alignment with your own intuition, your own soul. Okay? Or using your intuition rather to get into alignment with your soul. So, because of this, I feel like you're going to be moving into a space of trying to reconnect. You're going to try to heal, release the hold that you have on this need to show up and catch up and be up with, or keep up with people that are in alignment, and they might be doing well and they might look well, but it's because they are in alignment with what they're supposed to be doing. And you're going to make that connection with yourself, go through whatever healing that you have to go through to do that. Walk through whatever shame or embarrassment that you might be feeling as well, as being someone who might have experienced a little bit of a fall or a little bit of a bump in their journey. And that's going to allow you to get to this space of being connected. And it's actually going to take you to where you want it to be, which is in this rainbow blessing energy. It's going to take you to your personal rainbow that encircles you and is the source of your joy, your luck, your prosperity, and your abundance. All right. So let's clarify the wisdom oracle. Yeah, I feel like in the past you didn't want to really be flexible and allow your personal story, your personal journey to unfold in the way that it needed to. And so because of that, you were like, I'm going to get this by any means necessary. If it's not coming to me, I'm going to take it. If it's not working out, I'm going to manipulate the situation to make it work for me. And that's what kind of backfired on you. And, I feel as if now, because I think there was also like a time conscious time consciousness that was at play that was making you feel like you had to hurry up and do this because you had like a timeline that you wanted things to play out. But now, because of this experience and kind of this loss that you're experiencing, you're recognizing that time is kind of subjective and it's kind of irrelevant to the bigger picture. What's the most important is what you're doing in the here and now and the journey that you're walking, and are you in connection with what you're supposed to be doing for you on your path? So, I feel as if, you're letting go of this time consciousness of, I need to have this done by the age of this, and I need to have this done, or these people have all this other stuff and I don't have anything, or I don't have as much, or they seem like they're better off. What am I doing? I feel like there's a sense of letting go of that and not focusing so much on time as a construct to gauge where you are in your life. I feel like you're going to be more in tune with how well you feel that you're connecting to your own personal soul. Okay. So for the feather message we have in the past, it says the time is right to access and master your abilities. Do so with humility and control. All right. So I feel like that was what didn't happen, was that at that time, and this is piggybacking off of this other card that we had with the time here, this was the time to kind of look at what your personal abilities are, not what other people were doing and not what they had, but what you had and who you were, so that you could bring that out and do it in a way that was humble, not comparing yourself to others, not trying to overpower or outshine other people or force yourself into this emperor position where you're dominating others. And because that didn't happen then, and you experienced that, that almost, I feel like there might have been a tower moment that led to this kind of falling of this emperor energy. Now you're recognizing that your intuition was correct the entire time, and that you need to follow your inner wisdom without fail moving forward if you want to get yourself out of the situation. Because the friends that you have that are helping you are very helpful and they can help you, but what's going to help you the most is to actually take action on your own behalf by getting yourself in alignment with where it is that you're supposed to be, because only you really know that. People can help you and can come in from a surface level and try to, throw in their hands to help, but ultimately it's going to come from within you. All right, so let's wrap up with an abundance angel card or two. Oh yes, so in the past we have face your financial fears. So I feel like there was like a sense of being afraid of not having enough. Maybe the people that you were comparing to had a lot more finances and resources, and you were concerned that you didn't have enough. This could just be like, a 401k, or how much savings do you have? Or not being as successful as what other people are around you. You could have been, surrounded by some very successful people. But in being that way, instead of taking an honest account of you and where you are according to what you've gone through, and also not setting yourself up a rubric of guidelines of what you should be hitting and at what point based off of what other people are doing, when you do that, it created this need to kind of, try to give yourself an advantage in the system, to give yourself a head start. You might have felt behind. You might have felt like, all these people are where they are. How do I catch up with them? Because I need to be there too. But the truth is that we all have different paths, and we're all at different places at different times because of the journey that we're on. So it may not have been for you to be at the same place that they are. And also there's a need to have compassion on yourself and recognize that there's many different ways to be successful, and there's many different ways to show abundance. And that's the next card that you have here. It says visualize abundance in all forms. So it says God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. And I feel as if this is also pointing out that you can be abundant and feel as if you are prosperous and experiencing this beautiful life with things that align with you and what you've worked for. And when we start comparing ourselves is when we start to not be grateful for what we have, or to feel as if what we have is not enough. And I feel like that would be the key here moving forward, is to be honest with yourself about what it is that you have and what you're able to manifest for yourself right now with what's available to you, and not compare yourself to others, so that you could be at peace and be grateful for that. And from that space, you'd be able to bring in even more abundance, because it's very difficult to do that from a place of lack. All right. It puts you, when you're in lack, it just kind of creates more lack, because even when you try to correct it, you're going to do things that will just push you further in lack. All right. Like making bad choices or decisions that lead to adverse consequences that you don't want, that you were not intending to experience because of that. All right. So this is what I have for you, Libra, for your seed time and harvest reading. I hope that it was helpful for you. And thank you for joining me on this channel, where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. And until the next video, bye-bye.